Joan Kagezi's remains arrived at St. Luke's Church in Ntinda at 10 a.m. Thousands of mourners, her relatives, family, friends, and government officials gathered to pray for the soul of a woman many described as selfless, loving, and soft-spoken. The mood in the church was somber. Send-off hymns were sung as her friend played the piano. The reverend who presided at the wedding of Joan and her late husband in the same church 24 years ago was here today to lead a service for her send-off. Addressing the congregation, the police chief, General Kayihura, called for an overhaul of the law, in particular, the mandatory 48-hour detention for suspects, saying it has contributed to the rising incidents of mob justice because the public is increasingly losing trust in the existing laws.
Get enough evidence in 48 hours and be able to put a convincing case before a court of law in 48 hours. Something which even the British, where we got this system from, have opted out.
But the Chief Justice Bart Katurebe holds a different view.
Let's review it if we must, but never compromise on the basic principles of fair trial.
In his sermon, Reverend Canon Owino wondered why government did not provide enough security to protect Kagezi, who was killed by hitmen as she drove to her home in Nigeria.
I've seen you people provide security for people who society has no problem with. Let this be a lesson. We have so many policemen, we have security people, armed and so on. Why was he not aside?
And with the overwhelming sense of loss evident in his speech, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Justice Mike Chibita, who was Kagezi's boss, vowed to ensure that justice prevails despite the killing.
Where they use guns, we will use law books. Where they use bullets, we will use pens. And where they shoot us from the highways, we shall battle them in the courtrooms.
Others spoke, conveying messages of hope to the mourners and the bereaved family.
Let us say not in grief, she is no more. Instead, let us live in thankfulness that she was.
I believe that a good heart has stopped breathing, but a good soul has ascended to heaven.
Kagezi's 4 children, 2 of whom were in the car at the time of the tragic incident, shared their grief and fond memories of their mother.
I remember Mommy had a flight early in the morning and she had to take us to school first. She always had to say she couldn't let me sleep without telling me I love you.
She had the biggest heart ever. We were laughing and then all of a sudden she was gone. But Mommy atuagala.
In the pursuit to bring justice why it would not have been, Joan met her death in the hands of the assailants. However, today she was supposed to have cross-examined the last witness in the 2010 terror attack case. Her friends described her as someone who has lived her life well, but also fought the war very well. Fare thee well to Joan Kagezi. Sudhir Biaruhanga, NTV. Sudhir Biaruhanga, NTV.